Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football Dill, the Penn State head coaching saga. It is one of the crazier stories that I've seen in the sport the last couple of years. Matt Campbell seems to be the most popular name sitting here Thursday night. I'll put my hand up and say two things right off the bat. Number one, was Matt Campbell my number one choice for Penn State? No, he wasn't if we were to go back a couple of weeks ago. Does he make sense in this current situation? I would argue, yeah. I mean, you look at Matt Campbell and say, hey, he's going to get the locker room behind him. He's going to get the fan base behind him. This is a very likable cat over there at Iowa State. They think the world of him, right? Here's the other thing I'll say. There are a few coaches that I'll say this for, but I'm going to say it for Matt Campbell. Want to see him at a job before I'm dead. Before I'm dead, I want to see him at a job where he has the resources to compete for national championships. Penn State would be that for him. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but here's the thing to sell the Penn State fans on. Like James Franklin, we knew that ceiling, right? He might have had a really high floor. Like this Penn State program was not going to go into the crater, but that ceiling seemed pretty damn firm at the end of his tenure. Matt Campbell might have a lower floor. Like, I'm not really sure what it's going to look like at Penn State. Can he recruit the way he needs to Penn State? We don't know. But I'll say this, we're not really sure what that ceiling is. That ceiling could be a little bit higher than James Franklin. And if you get that, it's kind of what you're looking for if you're Penn State looking for your next head coach. Talk about Matt Campbell. We'll talk about Matt Patricia as well, who seems to be the other name that's generating some buzz before we do an as always to the Penn State fans. Number one, vibe check. Let it fly in the comment section. Number two, a massive thank you. As frustrating as this process has been, we've talked a lot about it. The amount of support from the Penn State fans, been amazing. At times, though, we've just gone off-roading. We've talked about Penn State wrestling in the comment section. Most of the Penn State fans by now know I'm a Hawkeye wrestling fan. Appreciate you guys, man. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Dylan will put you on the T-box here. Matt Campbell, potentially coming to Penn State. How are we feeling about it?
And it does feel like maybe better than a lot of the alternatives at this time.
Yeah.
And again, that's a lot like Pat Kraft. I think we all know didn't handle this particularly well. I mean, this hire, whoever it is at this point, it's coming way too late. But I will say, Matt Campbell, like his name's been floated before. He's one that I do wonder, does he give you ceiling potential in the way you kind of want? He gives me a little bit of Kirk Ferentz vibes, like to an extent where it's like, a little bit like, okay, this is how I'm going to do things. And that might be because he was at Iowa State. And Iowa State is a program that, again, I don't know that they're investing in the top half of what
that's what I'll say is Penn State, or I should say Iowa State, they've been a top half Big 12 team over the last decade. I don't think they invest like a top half Big 12 team. Like if you told me, hey, well, what are the spending numbers? I'm guessing Texas Tech. I'm guessing BYU. I'm guessing Utah, Baylor, TCU. I'm guessing they're all spending a little bit more on football. Yet Matt Campbell's always banging with those teams and at some points winning the Big 12.
But I guess my one pushback is you're the head coach. Like, do you have any responsibility to galvanize the support around your pro? Like Eli Drinkwitz, like credit to him. I wouldn't have ever put Mizzou in a top half like spender of the SEC. Eli Drinkwitz always felt like he made out in like, again, he maybe doesn't love having to like do the dial for dollars campaign, but he's going to do it because he's really, really competitive and really, really wants to win. Do you have any issue with like, was Matt Campbell the guy to rally a program around in the way you need to?
I think he could. You know, I think it's just like there's a certain ceiling that Iowa State can provide you, and they ain't going much over that ceiling. That's probably my take on the situation. And I'll say this. I don't think Penn State would have fired James Franklin if they were not prepared to give whoever's going to be the next head coach some serious resources. So I don't know if Matt Campbell's going to have to be banging on tables the whole time to get funding to run the program the way he wants it. And I'll say this, I mean, you look at Matt Campbell, the success he's had at Iowa State, if you give him top 12, top 10 recruiting classes, I think he can win a lot of football games.
Do you wonder a little bit like with him, you've never seen him at one of those programs that operates at the Ferrari level? Like that's probably my biggest issue is he kind of came up through the MAC and then right into Iowa State. I mean, he's never been at an Alabama or a Georgia or a Tennessee or a Michigan or
well, that was my biggest argument for Brian Hartline. Like at least Brian Hartline, although he's never been a head coach, has been at that kind of program. has been at a program that Penn State's trying to go to. Obviously, that being Ohio State. I'll sell you on that.
That even trickles down to the recruiting. It's like Iowa State's never asked him to recruit. They don't expect to recruit. I don't think they put a great emphasis on doing it.
Yeah.
Again, like if you're going to get over the James Franklin hump, you need to get them from being like a 10 to 15 kind of recruiting program to being in the top 10 a little bit more often. Yep. And I guess there's just those things that like Matt Campbell on field and in culture and development, like really, really good. I feel like he's a more incomplete coach than a lot of the hires out there that were.
Yeah, you're saying he's incomplete. My response is I just don't think we know. And the pushback is fair. Like I'd maybe rather get a coach that we know can come in and recruit. We just don't know if that's going to be Matt Campbell. I mean, Mike Elko is a really good example. Came from Duke. Now, Mike Elko was a pretty damn good recruiter.
That's the difference. I feel like the fundamental is Mike Elko worked up to the big leagues. If you Notre Dame, Texas A&M, like go to the big leagues, college ball.
That is fair.
It's even like I point to an Alex Golish. It's like Alex Golish. Yes, he only was at USF, really good at USF, but also like worked his way up through teams like Tennessee and saw how Josh Heupel recruits and what he's able to do. And again, that's probably my one big issue with Matt Campbell is does he feel like the guy to elevate this Penn State beyond where James Franklin had it?
I think that's very fair. All right, so you're negative Dill over there. I'll be the positive guy, glass half full guy. And again, I'm not dismissing your points because Matt Campbell wouldn't have been my first hire either. Here are the pros. Number one, the run at quarterback that Iowa State's had. Like Rocco Beck, they had a year of Hunter Deckers, and that was Brock Purdy. Like, pretty freaking good over the last 6 years, man. They've gotten quarterback right, you know? And then I think he hires an awesome staff. I mean, and I'm blaming John Heacock, defensive coordinator. He's been there the whole tenure. He's retained John Heacock the whole time, which is a freaking great for Matt Campbell because that guy wanted to get poached or not. He didn't want to get poached. There are a lot of other programs that have wanted to poach him over the last 5 years. Really good hires, really good staff hires, really, really good quarterback play. Those are some of the pros. And I'll also say this, Dill, was the biggest reason you fired James Franklin. And those games that matter the most, because let's just be quite frank about it. In the Big Ten, and we're Michigan fans, so we kind of experience it the same way. There are, 8 Saturdays where you wake up and you can enjoy your coffee and have your breakfast sandwich and kind of know, hey, we're hosting Rutgers, should be a pretty comfortable win. That you got 3 or 4 games that are going to determine the outcome of your football season, right? Whether you make the playoffs, whether you don't, whether you compete for a championship, whether you don't. Matt Campbell in those big games has historically performed pretty well at Iowa State. A little bit of a gamer head coach, which is maybe another positive too. Do you want to just for a second talk about Matt Patricia? And let's make no mistake about it. It sounds like Matt Campbell. Wait, no, hold on. Go back. Matt Campbell or Terry Smith, who would you take?
Oh, Matt Campbell. Terry Smith, I think we all know and that's a weird one because it's like Penn State seems like, again, if you're going to believe the reports with like all the donors and former players who like are really stumping for Terry Smith, it does make me kind of wonder because it feels like they'd probably have more input than me, but I really don't get why then you fire James Franklin because you're just like you're kind of maintaining the status quo.
Well, I think the answer is, Dill, 3 weeks ago, nobody was stumping for Terry Smith. Like where we're at right now, where we just got to get a freaking head coach in the building. Now all of a sudden it's like Terry Smith. And I will say this, if you just go promote Terry Smith, that's not the worst thing in the world because you probably don't have that much attrition to your roster.
Well, they've put themselves in a circumstance where like now the rebuild's going to be huge. Like you have no signing class in 2026. You're going to need to basically rebuild everything in 27, 28. Yep. So again, you put yourself like even like teams like Florida and like Auburn, like they're not that far removed from like having good players and having a roster that can be competitive. They just add a new head coach. Like Penn State, the way this has been handled and how long it drew out, I think you're going to have a crazy amount of attrition in the portal either way. And maybe Terry Smith does a better job of
Terry Smith would definitely do a better job retaining that. That at least that's the impression that I'm getting.
Even just the way that I would be I think No, I'd probably push back on that. The more I was like, "Oh, he's such a really smart football mind for sure," but the way things worked out in Detroit and how much everybody seemed to
I
just really
I'm
hate
gonna
him.
push. I'm gonna push back on that real quick because Matt Patricia, and I'm not just saying this because he's lost a bunch of weight, and I give him credit for doing that. The dude seems like a different human being. Like,
He might have had, like, the post-Belichick, like, arrogance that could certainly rub you the wrong way, and he has been knocked down a few pegs, so maybe that
yeah,
worked. I don't know, like, I feel like we said that about Lane Kiffin, and now we see Lane Kiffin
true.
get a little success again, and now he's right back to old
Yeah,
school
back
Lane
to being a
Kiffin. So I
back being a
I don't
dick.
know, the fact that he was so disliked, like, almost like Chip Kelly disliked, would give me a lot of concern about hiring him. It just, like, you need to
For
be able to
sure.
guide
But
the young.
I'll say this, everything I'm hearing coming out of Ohio State is like, not only is this
Yeah,
defense like
fair.
really freaking good, like they love this guy. They go to battle for this guy. And he apparently is like doing a really good job on the recruiting trail. And because my biggest question mark was, all right, not just coaching grown men, but connecting with grown men. How is that going to look when you're coaching 18 to 20-year-olds? I mean, he's obviously translated the defense very well, showing he's a good coach at the collegiate ranks, but at the same time, I mean, seems like a guy that is a lot more likable than he was 5 years ago in Detroit. That matters too.
Yeah,
Again,
but I think you gotta
if you
see,
go
like,
Matt
you said,
Patricia,
yeah,
if you go Matt Patricia, why the hell did you not go Brian Hartline? Like, I'd rather go with the guy that's done it for a decade than a guy that's done it for 8 months. It I will say this, where we sit right now, Matt Campbell does seem like the best option. I think this would, I mean, you depending on Josh Pate, I mean, Josh Pate knows what he's talking about when it comes to college football. Josh Pate, that was his number one guy for Penn State when they fired James Franklin, right? So there are some people that say, hey, Matt Campbell could be choice number one. So we'll see how it turns out. Could end up well. But again, the process, really freaking bad, man. Like, we're really, really bad. We'll close it there. Penn State fans, appreciate you guys, man. Hopefully, we find a conclusion to this soon so we can start talking about how to get Penn State back to where they want to go in 2026. Transfer portal, hiring a coaching staff. Appreciate you guys. Talk to y'all later. Peace.